question that we get asked a lot is, when is an intervention necessary? I want to make the point that we should intervene early on somebody. Addiction is a progressive illness. Addiction left untreated always gets worse. If we intervene early on somebody, we can start a plan for them of less severe types of treatment. If we intervene early on somebody, therapy might be effective, a doctor might be effective, 12-step meetings might be effective. If we wait for addiction to progress, we might be left with no other option than using inpatient treatment. So if we intervene early, we might not have to take as many aggressive steps as the illness would require as it progresses. A lot of times families think that the person has to hit rock bottom before we can intervene. It's a little crazy when you think about it. People are standing by watching somebody saying they have to get worse before we're going to step in and help them out. Addiction is the only disease that people behave that way. Imagine for a second if a family member had a diagnosis, I hate to say it, had a diagnosis of cancer. Families intervene immediately, swiftly, on the day of that cancer diagnosis. One person might be cooking dinner, another person might take somebody to the doctor's office. Intervention happens immediately with any other illness or disease. But with addiction, for some reason, people are standing back and waiting for it to get worse, waiting until we get to the point where the only option that we have is residential treatment. Today, you've started the intervention process just by watching these videos, just by calling Suntra, just by reaching out and starting to change your dynamic with that person. So you've already started the intervention process today. We don't want to wait for rock bottom. We want to intervene early. We know that addiction is progressive. It's going to get worse. Sometimes there's a little lull in addiction. There's a day off, a good week, a good month. The family kind of pulls back. They're not going to intervene. They're not going to address the person. But we know that just a little calm is not enough. We need to create a plan for long-term recovery. If we intervene early, we can often intervene in a much softer way. We're just creating a plan to invite the person of concern to join. I do have a saying, the only thing harder than doing it is to not do it at all.